Hey guys, welcome back to Honeycomb. My name is Keo, and today I wanted to open up a pair that I ordered last week. And this is Tatum's, and this is considered like his PE, a sneaker that was made specially for him. Has his logo on it and everything, but this is from the flagship line of the Jordan lineup. This is the Jordan 37. So I wanted to open it up, show kind of like the storytelling around this sneaker. But the reason I picked it up was because it had a massive sale during Member Days weekend. I picked up some other sneakers, but this was the one that I put in my cart right away because from 12,000 pesos, it was now at 6,000 pesos. Ridiculous deal. Had to go for it. It was available in full sizes at the time that I put it in my cart, and the next day there were no more sizes of it. It completely sold out. Now, the reason why I wanted to get this particular sneaker is because one, I am a huge Celtics fan, and thus I am a huge Jayson Tatum fan as well. I don't know anyone who's as big a fan here in Manila of the Celtics and of Jayson Tatum. Been waiting for the right one to pick up, and I thought this one was the right one for me. I like tattoos, I like the color, it's very wearable. But the second reason why I wanted to get this pair was because a lot of the technology that gets used in this sneaker is also going to appear in one way, shape, or form in the upcoming Jordan Tatum 1 sneaker. So I wanted to get this, be able to get a beat on kind of what this technology is doing in this sneaker, and then compare it to what's going to be done in the new one. We will get that pair in soon. It comes out in April. I think it's April 7. And I already called up our friends over at Nike Jordan brand and said, hey, I'm gonna need a pair. You gotta remember me, guys. You gotta remember me, guys. All right, so let's open up this. This is the collaboration between Jordan brand, and they collaborated with a tattoo artist named Steve Wiebe, who is Tatum's personal tattoo artist. Now, that's why the box comes wrapped in this plastic sleeve that's designed to look like the plastic that you get when you wrap up a tattoo after it gets done. So you take that off, and this is the box. Now immediately, if you are a Tatum fan, you'll recognize a lot of these tattoos. I watch the Celtics almost every other day, sometimes back-to-backs. And so you see a lot of the designs showing up here on the box are much smaller on the sneaker, because the sneaker, when you see it, uses very little printable surface. So a lot of the tattoos here are tributes to Tatum's story, history, things that are so important to him that he got a tattoo of them. And if you are a fan, you'll recognize him. You see the flags from the St. Louis Grand Prix from racing. He comes from a town where racing is, of course, a big deal. Archer Street, in the house where he lived, he has the name of his son, Deuce. The year he was born, which is 98. He has the crown, which is on his shoulder. And then little things like the world blows, like father, like son. And you flip over on the front side of the box, you have the Jayson Tatum JT logo. So on the back, you do get to see some of the ones that are text-based, right? That are on his body. We don't always get to see them. I Just Didn't Quit is there. Grateful. The Angels, of course. He seems to be pretty religious. He prays like every time he hits a court, like right before a game, you see him stop and kind of lift up a prayer. And then some of these designs are kind of line work. So they are very clean, but the line work kind of gives a feeling of the draft nature of some of these designs that we're seeing them early. On the sizing tag, it says Air Jordan 37 Tatum PF. So PF means that this is the Asian release, meaning it's a little bit wider. Now, one of the famous Steve Wiebe tattoos on Jayson Tatum are two snakes that form the number 24. So it's a tribute to Mamba. But I don't see it here on this particular layout. It is what it is. All right, flip it open. Woo! Now again, like tattoos, it's wrapped in plastic instead of the traditional paper. You open it up. And that is the Jordan 37 in the Jayson Tatum PE. Collaboration with Steve Wiebe. There's nothing else inside the box. There's no extra laces or anything like that. This is a performance sneaker. You do see the tag. It says XDR rubber. That's a feature of PF editions of sneakers here, released in Asia, and that means extra durable rubber, which means that gum sole we'll talk about later is a little bit harder, which means a little less tacky, but more durable and will last a long time. So let's talk about the sneaker. Let's talk about some of the features, because these are features that are implemented in a different way, but also find themselves on that Jordan Tatum 1. And since this came in at 6,000 pesos after the Members Day price drop and discount, at that price, it's gonna be very similar to the price of the Tatum 1 when it does come out. Most signature sneakers or signature sneakers for athletes come out at around that price. So we see like the Giannis Zoom Freak came out at that price at the start, and then slowly they start to inch their way up. But some of the technology that is on that Jordan Tatum 1 is kind of premium, top of the line technology. It's what you see on this sneaker as well. Let's move a box aside. And here is the outsole. The outsole is a gum rubber. In other iterations of the Jordan 37, you see the different sections in different colors. In this case, it's a single color, which means you're gonna have a very stable transition between the different sections of the outsole, and then immediately you see the carbon fiber plate. My understanding of the technology inside the sneaker is that carbon plate is just for stability and isn't connected to the zoom units or anything. It's not working like a Next Percent or anything like that. It's just to prevent too much torsion from the front to back, give you a more stable ride. Moving up to the midsole, you have Phylon from the front all the way to the back, and then encased in here, that red thing is Formula 23. You know, as I mentioned in previous videos, Formula 23 is kind of what we're seeing replace React in Jordan Brand's implementations, where they need this kind of high performance, high comfort foam. It's gonna push out against that outer side, and it will create cushion, but not at the same level as when it's exposed. The first iterations of React were in basketball shoes caged like this, and people couldn't feel them at the start. I am happy to report that you can feel it here. It's just not like other implementations of React. But again, it's not React, it's Formula 23. But the rest of this is in Phylon. And then in the forefoot of the sneaker, you have dual Zoom Air units. So I believe it's a Zoom Air Strobel in the front, and then there's a top-loaded Zooms unit just directly below that Strobel. Now the insole, it is an Ortholite insole. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it in. It is an Ortholite insole, which will provide you with immediate step-in comfort. Another feature of Ortholite insoles is that usually they're supposed to be antibacterial as well. So going through the midsole, you have that Formula 23 in the back with the Jumpman over there, embossed, debossed in red. Then Phylon that runs from the midfoot to the toe. Inside the Phylon, there are two Zoom units, including a 4-foot Zoom Strobel unit. So there's double stacked Zoom in there. This Phylon is painted white and black. Moving up, you have the mudguard that wraps all the way around, and this is where the Steve Wiebe designs show themselves again. It's the same design you see implemented on this kind of vanilla look that goes all the way around the sneaker. Then on the back, you have MJ's logo. It says AJ 37 or ... 3 and then 7 in Roman numerals. The GOAT signature and his logo there on the back. Like the Tatum 1, this uses a shank plate, although on the Tatum 1 it looks like it's gonna be TPU. This uses Zoom units and it uses Formula 23 as well. Another feature that this uses that we also see up here on the Tatum 1 is the Leno weave. So Leno weave is this net-like material that's on the front of the sneaker, goes all the way around. It's molded to the last, right? Leno weave is reminiscent of potato sack weaving. It's a very, very strong way to weave material. This is a performance material. It's also a premium material. This is not cheap to do. We see Leno weave used on like really expensive 70, 100,000 peso Herman Miller chairs, stuff like that. And you see it appearing here on this sneaker. So it is very strong and it's very light. It will be very breathable because you can see right through it. In fact, one of the cool things about that is that it has that Steve Wiebe print running all along the insole of the sneaker, and we don't actually have to pull it out because you can see it right through the upper of the sneaker, which means that you're also going to see your socks in this sneaker. So you need to have socks that match this vanilla color. The tongue itself is sewn in only here at the tip, which means it's going to move around a little bit if you don't lace it up perfectly. The tongue is kind of like a neoprene with ventilation throughout the top, and then on the tongue, yeah, the red Jumpman again, and more of those Steve Wiebe graphics, tattoos. Now on the other side, because it is a Tatum PE, you have the JT logo over there, which is gonna appear also on the Tatum ones. Now, if you've never seen a Jordan 37, and this is my first one to own, I really was waiting for the Tatum PE to come out. I've been watching him play in it. Then when it came out, it was pricey. And then, you gotta have the Nike app. So the secret is have the Nike app and put all your favorite stuff in your favorite section, like put the heart on it, so that when it goes on sale, when sales happen, you just go to your favorites page and you can see all of the different items that you favorited, if they are still available in your size and if they have discounts. So, and then sometimes it didn't work for this one, but some of the other things that I ordered some sneakers for the kids, and I ordered a pair of Dunks. We'll do another video on that. And there was even an additional 30% off on those. So the Dunks ended up costing $3,400, and they were a premium pair. They were a Dunk Premium, which means that it went from 6'4" to 2'4". So between this sneaker and that sneaker, what's that? I must have saved like 10,000 pesos. Whew. All right. So the tongue does come out and it does move a lot from side to side, but you can't see inside and see that insole. The tongue is made of a mesh, not quite a neoprene. So it's like a 2-layer. It's like kind of like neoprene here on the front, but very thin. And then on the back, it's mesh, so it's very breathable. High emphasis on breathability for this sneaker. Now you see that Leno weave go all the way around, and it's kind of detached from the ankle section. Very, very similar to the Jordan 7 to begin with, right? Which is kind of like a low top shoe with like a little ankle dressing around it, ankle pads that will give you some cushioning, and then a very, very, very stiff heel section, heel counter, and this is the whole thing that'll anchor your foot in. So what you want is, when you put on the sneaker, you tighten it to secure your foot towards the back, right into that little cup, and that'll hold your foot really nicely. Now, the reason why I picked up these sneakers is, again, one, I'm a huge Jayson Tatum fan. Two, I wanted to compare them to the upcoming Jordan Tatum 1. But three, I've also found that I've been wearing a lot of performance basketball sneakers at my job here in Honeycomb. It requires me to be able to stand and walk around on my feet for like, 7-8 hours a day. Sometimes we're picking up furniture, moving it around, washing dishes, making coffee, consulting, pacing while taking important phone calls. And I found that I wear actually my LeBrons very often because of the air units and the comfort level inside of those. So I thought, you know what, this might be a really good sneaker to wear here around Honeycomb, where it is stylish, it's very breathable, so it's healthy for your foot. Now, in terms of sizing, they do fit true to size, a little bit loose. Now, I have tried them on before in Jordan Manila, the Jordan store here in the Philippines. And my fit on the Jordan 37s really is that it's a little bit loose in the front. Maybe it's at PF, wider last, but also because the upper is so thin that there's nothing kind of moving towards your foot, hugging it, unless you're really tightening those laces. So I do recommend getting your true size and then wearing like socks that'll fill out all of the kind of the awkward spaces. It'll look weird if your toe shows inside of the sneaker, because it's transparent. Not even translucent, it's transparent. You can blow on your own foot through this upper. And yeah, because of that thinner upper, you do have a little bit of freedom of movement in there. So I recommend getting true to size, wearing a little bit thicker performance socks when you're wearing these. You could go down half a size in these PFs. It's not going to be too constricting because it does have a wider last. But if you're using the regular Jordan 37, which is not a PF, I don't recommend going down half a size. Now, a couple other hidden details, not really hidden, on the toe. It says AJ XXXVII or AJ37 on there. And then on the tongue, you have the, I was mentioning earlier, you have the 2, and then flip it over and it says 3 on the other side. So the 2 lines and the 3 lines. And then in tribute to the Jordan 7, you have that Jordan Air logo also appearing on the inside of the tongue. And so that's it for the Jordan 37 Jayson Tatum, the Jayson Tatum PF. This is the Jayson Tatum sneaker you can buy now, if you can find it, because it did sell out on the app last week. But if you can find it and you do get a good deal on it, this is an absolute steal pickup. I think it's an instant classic, highly underrated sneaker. I'm going to be using them day to day. Hopefully I'll get some part-time in it and be able to play a little bit of basketball. Maybe I'll go shoot some hoops tomorrow. And then at some point we'll get those Jordan Tatum ones and we'll do a straight up comparison. First we'll do the unboxing of that, I promise. And then we're gonna do a straight up comparison, this sneaker versus that sneaker, and kind of look at how, you know, the Formula 23 is implemented differently, how the shank plate is implemented differently, how the zoom is implemented differently, and how the Lena weave is implemented differently between these two sneakers. What do you think of the Steve Wiebe, Jayson Tatum PEs? I would like to know your thoughts. Leave them in the comment section down below. And if you are enjoying our videos, leave a like, subscribe, and watch another one. I wish you guys good luck. I wish you guys good health. Peace.